Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here today. We're going to get you some clarity and see what's going on in the energy and what would be helpful. We are going to start by asking about love land, romance land, relationships, situationships, whatever might be confusing or enticing or exciting to you right now. This could be somebody you are thinking about. This could also be somebody new coming in soon and or thinking about you. It's a timeless and collective reading, so see what resonates. Always follow that divine inner guidance in you. You're going to know when it's your message. It'll feel like it twinkles. That direct connection to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe is in you. The answer is always in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound and based in love for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we are all uplifted in love. Let's dive right on in. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What would be most helpful for the collective to know on current relationship or coming in relationship, even past? See how it resonates for you. What would be the most helpful for the collective to know about this energy exchange and connection? Please and thank you. That somebody is absolutely all over the place in their emotions right now. They're up, they're down, they're in, they're out. They don't know what they feel or how to put it into words, how to express what it is they're feeling at any given time. But there is somebody that at least emotionally or spiritually recognizes that the way they feel about you, the way that your frequencies entwine together is different. Because that person is taking off that plastic mask, looking at all the different emotions up here on the wall and looking with their real eyes, with their real truth at your frequency, or looking at how even their frequency feels different when they don't have to have that plastic ass sweaty mask on because they never needed it around you. That there was something, even if it was uncomfortable emotions, because not everybody is comfortable with, working through all of those emotions. They can be overwhelming. But there's something where even if it was overwhelming, it was still, I'm getting like, it was still like impactful with you. It was still important. It was still special with you. So there is somebody that definitely can't stop thinking about you and they haven't lost their feels for you. I even feel like if some of you have had some distance between you and a certain person, maybe you haven't had the big old talk about the feels ever. Maybe you felt the frequency, but the words never came out. For some of you, maybe the words came out, but the actions didn't match. Because if somebody was a little nervous about all that they were feeling, they may have needed to retreat to kind of process, get grounded, and maybe even do some healing in their life on something where they needed to find some balance, some stability, like a handle on all that they were actually feeling. Sometimes people don't even know why they distance themselves. It could be out of habit, just what they're used to. It could be somebody that's fear-based and they run away from something that feels vibrantly true because that true thing could be what hurts them the most. But there's something that happened here. We're in that space. Somebody had the time to process that. Maybe when they felt overwhelmed by being next to you or in your frequency, when somebody was either alone with their own frequency or missing yours, or perhaps comparing what they felt with you to maybe what's around them now, they're seeing all of the components in that situation differently. I feel like somebody is almost putting the puzzle pieces together. Frequency is I can't stop. I just thought of, I just can't get you out of my head. Boy, your loving is all I think about. I just can't get you out of my head. That song, her sexy ass in that hoodie one-piece outfit. I can't stop thinking about you. We are aligning in the same frequency and vibration. So if somebody was feeling like your frequency kind of matched, but then maybe they in their life, or retreating back to old habits, or, you know, vibrations kind of like got out of alignment. I feel like somebody needed like a spiritual tune-up. Because I feel like when it's together, that frequency does feel right, but there's something where maybe somebody was like connecting to that higher frequency, but they couldn't maintain it. They got to feel it, but then they didn't know how to keep something running. It's like they only filled up the gas tank a little bit and yet wanted to go, you know, 400 miles down the road, but they had to like fill up that spiritual energy a little higher on their own to maybe make it down the road. I also feel like somebody might be catching up to you, going through an array of emotions and feeling unstable. I just hear like an old engine where like the gas is like pop, 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 pop. You know, something like that, like a weird engine going down the road. And it's like, I'm just getting somebody needed a tune-up. Maybe side note here, if somebody needs to check how many miles it's been since you had an oil change, maybe it's time for an oil change. I even see like how when you have a lawnmower or a really good piece of equipment, like a machine, when you have the good machinery, when you have the weed whacker, don't use the shitty gas. You know, you use the high test. There's a reason for that. So there's something about your gas being like the high test, and they were going for like the economy before. So somebody's seeing how, ooh, it goes a lot better when you're driving, you know, the hot rod or the Ferrari or the Lamborghini. There's a reason why you get the like, I don't know why I see like plain fuel, I don't know why I just saw like a jet. I just thought of the band Jet. They have that song, Are You Gonna Be My Girl? Is that I think that's Jet. 1, 2, 3, tell me, honey, come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not even getting like notes on it. I think that's Jet. All right. Yeah, somebody wants to make you theirs. All right, let's get maybe one more. Aw. So yeah, somebody was definitely heartbroken about you. I feel like you were maybe heartbroken about them too, especially if you felt this frequency or that, you know, high vibration with someone else. You thought that they would, you know, last the long haul, and somebody did not. Somebody definitely was crying about you. And I feel like somebody is also looking through this frame, or looking through a frame differently, because it's like almost like that door was probably on that frame before and they actually couldn't see what was right in front of them. And something has opened up now. I'm just going to say it like this because I really do want to say it how it came through. There's like pussy willows here. So I do feel like somebody, let's just say somebody was feeling like they were a little bit of a wiener. Let's go. I guess both of those actually don't go, but they were kind of gentle compared to what I heard. Somebody kind of feels like, you know, they didn't have their balls on, or their big girl pants on. Like there was something that was beautiful right in front of them, and maybe they shut the door on their heart. Maybe they chose fear instead of love. I also feel like there's somebody that went through a lot of heartbreak in distance from you. You know, you see the sunshine, you get to drive that Lamborghini one day, and then somebody gives you like a Pinto or something that's like puttering on the ground. All of a sudden you like, man, I wish I had that Lamborghini back. So somebody knows that they made the wrong choice. Maybe they were sold a lemon. You know, they were sold something. Oh no, it's really a Lamborghini. Did you ever see those? I'm getting this. Do you ever see those cars where they actually take the, I've seen this. I think it was like a Volkswagen one time. I don't know if it was like a Beetle or something like that, where the front of the car, they actually had the front of a Rolls Royce. That's sort of where I see this person like went back to, or took the lemon of. So like coming from front, it's like, oh, look at the Rolls Royce, until something kind of passes by and you're like, huh? I mean, that is kind of cool. A little hodgepodge, but I feel like it was somebody that thought they were getting the real thing, but actually what was presented to them wasn't the real thing. I feel like you're the real thing. And I feel like somebody was really heartbroken, not believing that your ass matched your head. Like, it's like they didn't even do the full walk around to see. They're like, I don't know. So somebody made a wrong choice, and now somebody's sitting in a lot of pain, a lot of emotion. They're unstable. Their frequency's all wackadoo because they feel like they lost you. They lost their chance. Even if there was something where I'm getting like you actually had, like, you offered somebody the wheel. I see, like, oh, you can drive. And somebody was like they didn't even believe that they could drive it. Or even if somebody was just in the passenger seat, it's like they didn't believe that they could read the map correctly. I feel like somebody just lost an opportunity and didn't take hold of something pretty amazing when it was there. Maybe somebody was all in, had a good ride when it was there, but they left the journey a little too soon. They got lost at the gas station. They got stuck in the bathroom stall. So maybe for some of you, you have moved on. And that's like, that was a big old reality check for someone to see that they didn't handle you with care when you were there. I feel like you have an emotional tie to that person. I feel like you wish them the best, but I do feel like some of you have moved on. You have a space for them in your heart, but I feel like it is with gratitude. Let's see. Why is heartbreak coming in? For some of you, you were the one going through it. Somebody didn't even see how much you were crying, or know, how hard you took a situation. For some of you, there was somebody around you that couldn't even think of the thought of how they hurt you. They didn't even want to think about how you may be crying about them. They kind of would distract themselves or do something else. I feel like maybe that's hit some people. If somebody that was like, oh, if they didn't see you, if you don't see it, it's not there. If you're an ostrich and you stick your head in the sand, then it didn't really happen. It's that like, I don't know, when you don't see something, it's not happening. I'm not getting the phrase. Out of sight, out of mind. It wasn't. It was still in their mind. It was still in their heart. They thought if maybe they got you out of their sight, they could keep that frequency or the energy that felt, or find that frequency or energy somewhere else. And I feel like it's hitting someone hard. How they did something wrong, or they did you wrong. I'm getting energetically, even if they didn't see you cry, they felt it. I also feel like you felt this person too, especially if you had a deep connection with someone. You may have gotten like emotional, like bursts or highs or lows out of nowhere that were definitely connecting to this person's energy. But there's someone where they're letting you know from their higher self right now, there's not a day that has gone by. Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you. Without little dirty Vegas. There isn't a day that goes by where I don't think about you and how you're the one for me. I mean, that'd be why someone would be in heartbreak. Especially if you guys felt the same way and didn't even talk about it. Or talked about it and didn't follow through with it. Let's get one more. Memories. Yeah, somebody's definitely remembering you. Somebody's thinking about you. They're thinking about all the good times you had together, or all the good times you could have had and never did, talked about but didn't follow through with. There's somebody that's hugging you through the universe right here. So memories can be weird. It's nostalgia. You can remember something way better or way worse than it actually happened, and kind of latch onto how you were feeling or what you were thinking. I'm definitely getting there's a bridge now happening between someone's head and their heart. If there was a disconnect with the throat, because that's between the head and the heart. So I do feel like somebody had their throat chakra blocked. Maybe somebody really felt a lot in their heart, but wasn't very logical about how to go about that. Maybe there was someone that was all logical, all plans, all you know, being very realistic, but ignoring the heart. There was something about the in-between that was being ignored. And I feel like that was just a damn conversation, or more conversations, or more questions. Really could have solved a lot of maybe drama and heartache here. And that I don't feel like that's on this person, like all on this person. I feel like it's you and this person. Maybe it's even how you speak about something, not necessarily the subject. The memories we made together forever replay in my mind. That's 2 in a row. They're telling you, whoever this person is, whether this could be for some of you, somebody you dated 20 years ago. They've never forgot about how you were different than anyone else. Maybe they've, you know, healed, but this kind of keeps, I feel like if they see your picture, if they hear your name, if they think about you, that just keeps slipping on back in. Because no one's ever matched the frequency that you have or how they felt with you. The memories we made together forever replay in my mind, and our love is immortal. So there's somebody that believes you're a soulmate. There's somebody that believes you're connected to in the 5D, no matter how long the 3D connection was. So let's do this. Since we got a lot of energy here, let's go to the Twin Flame Oracle and just see if there's an extra message for you. Extra message on heartbreak, frequency, emotional memories, and thoughts. It's weird. I keep doing like a little sing-song. Actually, maybe that's why that had to come through. If you feel like your throat chakra has been blocked or is blocked, then I feel like one of the best ways I ever found, my throat chakra was blocked for years. I had a lot of situations and tragedy and loss and stuff that happened over a span of time in my life. And it was a lot of healing involved. But that healing or that block was necessary for me to be, you know, for me to heal. And sometimes you have to go through something. So maybe if you can heal later, it's because of what you went through. Sometimes you're not meant to teach or to put your energy out there when your energy needs to be more internal, and you need to mend and even grow within yourself, because it's that growth that later comes out and helps. But I will say that one of the things that totally unblocked it was singing some jazz. All of a sudden, singing just out of nowhere opened it up. And if you can't sing, whistle. If you can't whistle, dance. If you don't dance, maybe even just write it down. Writing something down is really powerful. It's like the first step to maybe working through emotions, taking something out of your thoughts, ideas that you have, and putting the frequency into something tangible. So it can either be worked out, healed, solutions can come about, or it can be something, maybe if it's a beautiful, I just heard fantasy, but I'm getting more like a beautiful possibility, a beautiful dream that you have, that you can start to manifest it. I feel like you should whistle. And I do feel like for some of you, whoever this is you're connecting to, I do feel like something will come through after some healing where they will be able to speak. So what would be helpful? What do we need to know about the collective situation, person, connection right now? What would be helpful? What's a deeper message? Heartbreak, frequency, emotional memories, and thoughts, please and thank you. What is one bridge? One message. The bridge is romance. And a big old yes. And this is kind of general. Oh, and inner child. We had a stowaway here. So the healing right now is to remember this romantic energy within you, remembering that romance and relationships are still possible, even if there was something that is broken and done. It could be for some of you that somebody comes in and maybe you talked about all these romantic things that you might want to do, or you just felt it, but they were never actually experienced. And maybe this yes is coming through saying you're going to get to experience it. Just have a little patience for something to work itself out and for somebody to change their vibration, maybe change their situation. Right now, the best thing you can do to change your frequency and vibration is to play, is to have some fun, is to do something where it makes you happy. It brings you enthusiasm in your life. It is something even that you're curious about and you've always wanted to try, and it makes you kind of itchy to just even think about doing it. Do it. It's enjoying the moment. It's living life to its fullest. If you don't feel like you're really doing that, what's one thing you can plan that would make your day feel more fulfilling? Give yourself a big old yes. You know, this could be like checking things off on your bucket list, going to places you've always wanted to visit, trying things you've always wanted to do. If some of you are thinking about another person and you're, I just heard I love you. If you're wondering if they love you, I mean, obviously they're thinking about you all the time. You're never out of their head and in their mind and thinking about your thoughts. Yes, they love you. Will they say it? I feel like most of you will get to hear that. You'll at least get a message of appreciation. And I feel for a lot of you, you're going to have a sassy moment. You're going to absolutely be in gratitude that you get to experience with this romance coming on in. It's where, I mean, two things here. If you have a sassy, sexy adult time with somebody else and you're playing, it's like you're, having sassy time and like giggling at the same time. You have such a beautiful connection here of energy. Playful, happy, enjoying the present moment, living to its fullest. Reveal, flow, go with the flow and savor. That feels so sassy. You're like savoring every second, every moment. Enticing. Somebody's a little a little mysterious, leaving a little for the imagination, a little to look forward to. Open yourself to romance. For some of you, you have something beautiful coming in. It might not be this person here. Maybe this is a lesson, a karmic situation, a soul growth situation where you've learned a lot to get you prepared for this big yes that wants to come in your life, but you have to be open. You have to be open to possibly something working out, and possibly maybe it doesn't, but when you're in that moment, you're so grateful that you at least said yes and had the experience. Sometimes people come in our life and they're not meant to stay forever, but you're still grateful you got to meet them. Sometimes people are meant to come in your life and they stay forever. This person over here thinks they're with you for eternity. So that does feel a little bigger than just, till death do us part. It feels like it's deeper than that. It does feel like a divine connection. The answer to your question, it's yes. If you were overthinking something, I feel like it's a simple truth here. So let's see. Let's go to the tarot. Let's go to the tarot. I feel like we should get a message though. Do I have the love one that has the messages? Oh, I do. I brought it. So let's go a little different. Let's go a little bit different and get you the Romance Angels Oracle and just see what an extra message is. You do have the romance, very appropriate. Romance. I don't know why that looks like it's someplace really nice. I just saw like tiki torches. Maybe that's a synchronistic sign for you, or you're getting some tiki torches for the beach or for your yard or for a party. Let's see. Clarify why romance is here. Yes, inner child, heartbreak, frequency, thoughts, emotions. A lot going on. What is the biggest message the love angels have to say? Woo! Okay, well, here we go. Extra message for some of you. It is coming through that for some of you, this was or is a third-party situation. So maybe that's where this heartbreak came in. Maybe I did see somebody that had to, you know, they took the front of the, I did see somebody that has like the front of the Lamborghini or the Rolls Royce, but the back's, you know, a rabbit or a pinto or something like that. I had a rabbit though, nothing against the rabbit or the pinto. But there's something where somebody almost needed to be in a situation to know maybe what they lost was you. It could also be that somebody was divinely brought into a situation to sever a connection because there's a better situation for whoever was the third wheel. If you're in that car and you're not in a, you know, the fancy three-wheeler, like, what are they? I don't know why I wanted to say a Segway. What are they called? The slingshot things. Then this is somebody who has like a car and it's missing a wheel and it's like totally off kilter. So third party situation could be somebody's family. It could be somebody's child. It could be somebody's job. It could be somebody's weird best friend. It could be anybody who's an extra energy, who's kind of coming in between the frequency you and someone have, or the romance you and someone have or had. And a third party could also be somebody that sees that the frequency of their person is suddenly different after meeting you, and that person is in heartbreak. Because now, you know, that's somebody losing maybe somebody that they loved. Maybe that's somebody around this person who's all over the freaking place with their emotions, and that's a lot for somebody to figure out, especially if that was somebody that was maybe in somebody's life for a long time. Other people may be interfering with this relationship and dimming its full potential. I mean, if you have this energy here and all of this frequency here, and anybody is getting advice from somebody that is chiming in their 2 cents, and yet all of their relationships were either superficial or shallow or heartbreaking and like kind of not relatable to maybe something that feels really true, then especially if somebody kind of wanted something out of your person or that situation, there could even be somebody that thinks that they're helping but doesn't even know that their advice is bullshit, or doesn't even realize that what they're speaking about is only coming from what they know. And, you know, there could be somebody that's also trying to orchestrate and manipulate some energy behind the scenes for some of you. You know, if they feel like they're losing control of your person or a situation, or that's going to create change that they don't want, that's a lot to deal with. So if that's your situation, you know, I don't think this is a surprise if the third party situation is coming in for most of you. Maybe for some of you, you actually didn't even know that was happening, and it is a surprise. Maybe you just haven't had any clarity or communication. But if there's somebody that's figuring something out with somebody else and they have cut you off, there is a reason for that. Trust that purpose, trust that reason, whether it's for somebody to go the way that works for them and that is not with you, and that is your answer. Yes, that might be somebody telling you exactly that. Regardless of the frequency or what you thought you felt, if somebody made a choice that is better for them, that is their choice. And that is not for you to intervene with, especially if there has been a disconnect or somebody needed to sever that connection with you. That also could be divine direction for you to both maybe go through something, but after going through something, remembering how valuable you are and trusting that God has always had you in mind for possibly a better partner for you on who you are now from all that you've learned for your future. You have to be open. For some of you, being open might mean it's not reopening up a wound from somebody that was a past situation. For some of you, this is you having that honey healing situation that you get as a gift for your future, or maybe happening right now. So if there was something that never reached its full potential, maybe for some of you, when the frequency changes, when a situation is sorted out pretty much, then maybe something can come in right and this romance can blossom and all the things you've been thinking about might come true, but even better. Because potential's just potential. Potential without experiences doesn't get very far. Potential without solid, clear, and truthful communication doesn't get very far. It's just potential that's always covered up by that plastic mask. Here, it looks like something gorgeous is coming in for you. Somebody engaged with you. Somebody planning something where they are thinking about a future with you. More and more engagements with you. For some of you, you might be finding a little romance, yes, at a particular engagement you are invited to. That could be a seminar, a class, a party, going out with a friend, going to a movie, going out for coffee, anything. It could also be you being engaged with something where you're really all in and you're doing your thing and you didn't even know anything was going on out there, and bam, God sends your person in. Your love is soon ascending to a higher level of commitment. A higher kind of love where its frequency matches the vibration of truth, matches the actions put into reality. Going through all the emotional waves and situations as something unfolds. Because you're always going to have many different situations around you. You know, sometimes life is, dramatic. Sometimes life is messy. I just thought of that song. I really like that song. I'm so messy. Messy. That one. Like sometimes things get messy, but it's cleaning up the mess and moving along, learning from something. Sometimes it's not a mess. Sometimes something is brought in and it's like it almost fits so well that you're waiting for, the shoe to drop, or, the rug to be pulled out from under your feet. You're waiting for something to go wrong because it can't just work out with no drama, with, just getting along, always being able to talk. But that absolutely can happen. Because if you are comparing with these memories, somebody maybe new and blessed, like a divine gift from God into your life, or maybe it is just easy. Maybe it just does always feel right. Maybe there is constant healing back and forth with somebody. But for some reason, you get through it different than you were with somebody else from your past. Then say yes. That sometimes you are gifted something that doesn't have to be so hard. There should be components of something that are effortless. And there should be components of a partnership that take effort. So let's go to the tarot. I don't know which one to use. I feel like I brought a different one. Did I bring a weird one? Did I bring a weird tarot for you? I thought I did, but I don't see it. No. All right, so maybe we're not supposed to use a weird tarot. I do have this one. So let's go with this one. I do really like this. I like how beautiful it is. So let's get you a few extra messages on memories, frequency, thoughts, emotional, third-party situation, and heartbreak. Inner child. Yeah. Engagement. A little romance. All right, what would be helpful to know? What is the energy right now? Let's ask what the energy is right now, today, when you are watching this, of the person that either the one you're going to be connected to, whether that's who you think it is or whether that's somebody you haven't even met in romance land yet. But let's see what currently your future person or current person's situation is. What is the energy of the collective's person right now? Please and thank you. Energy. Woo! Judgment. So recognizing the actions that they have taken and haven't taken accountability for. Also looking at, through spiritual eyes, what people around them are doing. I'm getting are doing because the judgment card is really big. It's where that angel is coming from the sky, and it's the big soul calling. Something needs to change. You've been doing this the old way for so long, and that's obviously not working. It's digging the hole in further. It's getting you in that karmic loop. What can you switch up and do differently so you're not stuck in a cycle that's not expanding? What has your soul learned that you can let go of and grow from? What are the beautiful things that you have done in the past that you are going to absolutely keep with you because you're proud of, and it's part of who you are? It's all of that. It's not a good or bad. You know, it's having self-judgment so you can change. Self-awareness so things can evolve. If there's a judgy energy out there, or somebody, it did flip out upside down. So somebody might have been in fear of being judged by others. What will they think? Who cares what they think? What's important is what you know in your soul and what your heart really feels, what your authenticity says, that your movements are your truth, and not worrying about validation from others and sticking on that weird mask every day to make everybody else happy, or to make you in a situation where whoever this is thinks everybody else is approving of them. Because whoever, it could also be where there's a lot of people that just have judgy energy and have a lot to say about what they don't know about. It could also be where the person here was very judgmental on you. Maybe in the past. The trumpet is sounded and judgment is changing. This is a bigger calling. It brings something back into balance. It heads somebody to the big aha of what they need to take a bow with, let go of, and look forward to in that new chapter, leap of faith, fool kind of energy. But first there has to be that ending, the big ending. It's the world that comes after judgment. It's not a little ending. That's a take a big bow. It was a weird ass run, or take a bow. That was amazeballs, but you're so ready for something new. I just heard salvation and freedom. It's soul elevation. It's leaving what you don't, leaving whatever is nailed in the coffin down there, and you elevating into what feels almost like I heard a breathtaking new beginning. Also, maybe you play the mellophone. This particular angel is playing a mellophone, which is very specific. Why is judgment here? Maybe somebody was being really hard on themselves. I mean, you have somebody in their thoughts and their emotions all the time here. This could also be where somebody was really dealing with some like karmic trauma or some childhood wounds that just were never healed or never addressed, or they didn't even know were there until sometimes you're put in a certain situation where those wounds are triggered. And all of a sudden those shadows appear and you don't even know what that is. You never saw that shadow or thought that that was a trigger, but all of a sudden you're seeing how there's a repeat pattern. There's a thread that is combining all these different situations. And I feel like somebody is recognizing that if all these situations are kind of similar, then the thread is them. The variable that they thought was everyone else is actually them. So what needs to change is their flexibility in changing what that variable is. I hope that made sense. Let's see what judgment is. Like, you're never going to get different results if you always do something the same way. This is somebody now wants to get different results. And that's beautiful, because those results, I did see something is shaken. So whatever this is, these are big. Whatever's happening right now in this person's life, or if you're mirroring this person also in yours, is shaking the very foundation of your world. It could also be somebody coming into your world or into this person's world where all of a sudden their world is rock and romance. Because this is sometimes where something is ripped away, and this is sometimes where something is like, something is revealed to you, something is offered to you, something just bolts into your life and you can't deny that it's there. The Tower is where something either was wobbling and it, you know, you can't keep taping it together. It's going to keep leaning. It's going to keep falling over. And something needs to be changed about how this foundation was building, or where it was being built, with whom it was being built with. This could be an internal tower, an aha, an epiphany, or a holy shit, I can't believe I didn't see that truth in front of me for how many years. The Tower can be something really coming through all of a sudden. Something wasn't addressed. Something was kind of heavy like lead and creating an imbalance all of the time. But all of a sudden, a conversation or an argument comes through. Clarity is released or expressed. The truth comes out. And all of a sudden, either something can be fixed, or something that can't be fixed anymore, or, you know, pieced back together, put Humpty Dumpty together again, is not happening. Then maybe it's a clear conversation that creates closure, that creates an ending. But this can be an ending or a beginning, a building or destruction. It happens really fast, but whatever's happening fast is taking you to Temperance, which is where you have two angels here. You have an angel that's giving you this, you know, divine calling over here. Hey, something needs to change. That change has to start in you. Like, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. That, like, yeah, it's got to start with the man in the mirror, man. If somebody didn't want to look in the mirror, they always have it covered, and no changes is going to happen. You know, they forgot they even had that mask on over there. And that could be you. You can't make somebody else change or look in the mirror or take the mask off, but you can change yourself. You can change how you see something. You can change your next step. You can be engaged in your own life and start to say yes to the things that you really want to do. You can really start to look at any towers of destruction from the past and what did you learn from them. And you can look at the towers of possibility and stability for your future and how to start building that. Temperance is finding that center place no matter what you go through. No matter how many different emotions or people or third or fourth or fifth parties are around you. Where is that? It's taking all of those energies and always finding your center. It's the divine masculine and the divine feminine in you working together in harmony. Knowing when to sit back and allow something to come to you, when to let something in because it appreciates who you are and is deserving of your time and your attention, and when you need to go after that shit and pursue something and make it happen, provide, build, you know, bring in that security. And then when you go back to nurturing something and nurturing yourself, it's always having that flow. If you're all in the one or all in the other, that will be imbalanced. If you have the right person coming in your life, it's somebody that probably balances you, and this is not gender, probably somebody that balances you, but also you are balanced in your own masculine and feminine back and forth with that other person too. Temperance is as above, so below, but as within reflects the so without. She's taking her cup, her chalice. You know, that beautiful emotion, that truth of spiritual energy that nourishes your soul. And she's going with that bowl, whether it was empty or full, to this, you know, I'm getting like a fountain of youth. But this pond, this creek, this whatever, and she's filling it up herself. She's come down to earth, but she has the capability to fly. Those wings are spirituality, but she's connecting to the reality of earth. And earth has energies that are all over the place. So no matter what kind of energies you are dealing with, it's finding your own truth within all those situations to make choices that you are proud of. You're proud of, because I feel like somebody else wants somebody else to be proud of them, but then they're not choosing really what's really true in there. They just hope somebody else is proud of them. Like, okay, mommy and daddy, I swept the porch, I did this, am I a good boy or girl now? Like, kind of that idea. I'm getting that maybe somebody, you know, needed attention, or maybe had instability, or even parents that were emotionally all over the place, or unstable or cold as a kid. And I don't think that's all of you, but I am getting a group of whoever I'm connecting to that went through that. So if they do a good job, you know, and prove that they did it right, then everyone will love them. But I feel like somebody is not fulfilled with that. You can only be fulfilled in your connection to God. That's really all that matters. Your connection to yourself. And if you are in a partnership, your truthful connection and communication with somebody else. You know, it's working together. But no one's ever going to really know what it's like to fly with your wings. So you have Sagittarius energy here. You have Scorpio. I guess maybe Scorpio energy. I kind of feel like, even though it's not really that connected to it, I kind of relate Judgment a little bit to Pisces, because Pisces goes through all of those elements of, you know, all of the different signs of the zodiac to come back around to get to that sage energy, that wisdom energy, that last little place where they retreat, connecting all the dots of all the different lives and all the different things that they've experienced to find their center, to, you know, reboot, to break on out into that new beginning again. Pisces kind of has a little bit of every other star sign in them. That's why they're a little confusing. So let's get you one more from the universe. I do feel like somebody is making a new judgment call here. Somebody might be making or have to make a judgment call because maybe their thoughts have just become too overwhelming, and they recognize that there's a reason that their thoughts are always swirling around you. Maybe that has a higher purpose than they were giving credit for before. It could also be that somebody was kind of forced or pushed into a situation where they don't want to choose before. Now the universe is kind of coming on in with the big trumpet and forcing somebody to choose. And if somebody is not choosing and you are the one waiting for somebody to say yes or no, this is saying yes to you and not giving somebody else your power to direct where you're going to go in your life towards your own happiness. And if you have anybody that is constantly messing with your frequency and not valuing how beautiful you are, how special you are, how truthful your heart is, and how much you wanted to put into something, then you need to, maybe by a tower epiphany moment here, recognize that if somebody was always coming in and creating imbalance in your world, it's time to get your own world into balance. And for some of you, that might mean that you have to leave somebody heartbroken. That might mean that you have to go through a little heartbreak yourself. But what it's going to do is it's going to really give you a lot of power. Like, yeah, I want to fist bump you again. Like, fist bump, yeah, you got it. You can do it. And if that feels like the healthiest thing for you, even if you have to let somebody go in unconditional love. You can unconditionally love somebody from afar, especially if that person was unhealthy for you. And what that does is merges all that healthy lead, heavy ass kind of energy and starts to create spiritual gold, not just inside you and your frequency, but overall in your life. You are gold, man. You're spiritual gold. Believe it. Know it. And also know that there will be the right person that will absolutely recognize that. What is one more final message, please? And thank you. I just heard at last. Wow. I felt really big. like, at last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over. Wow. That's big. And I just heard, wow, I just got like a little thing. I just actually just heard Orange Colored Sky, which is actually my, I think that's my favorite jazz song, but I didn't expect it to kind of slip on through now. I was walking along, minding my business, when out of the orange colored sky, flash, bam, alakazam, wonderful you came by. I was humming a tune, drinking in sunshine, when out of the orange colored view, actually that makes sense with the tower, flash, bam, alakazam, I gotta look at you. Oh, that is one look and I yelled timber. Watch out for flying glass. I'm going to keep going. Why not? Because the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started to shut up and hit. This is it. This is it. I was walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Flash. Bam. Alakazam. All right, I'll stop there. I'm starting to get a little loud. You can see how I really try to hold back in these readings because I am a loud singer. Things are going to be turned in your favor. People that were against you, all of a sudden, they're going to be for you. They're going to have, you're going to have ideas. Tap into your creativity. You're going to have promotions, contracts, and everything is just going to come into your hands. That happens when you open your arms and you say yes. You open your heart and change your vibration. You're in the now. And you have that wide-eyed, bushy-tailed sense of trust. And I do feel like even if for some of you, we're going to go back a little bit at the end of the reading here. If there was somebody that is, for some of you, if there was somebody who, let's just say it was an ex of the person that you are connected to. Hey, for some of you, if somebody has, your person has a controlling mother, or maybe has daddy issues or something like that, has a controlling sibling, whatever it is. Could be a controlling child. They know what's best for their mom or dad. They're not going to have somebody else step in. Whoever it is, I am getting that there might be somebody who had like a little bit of a control issue, but I don't feel like they knew you. Maybe they knew of you. Maybe they didn't even know anything about you, but they just know that they see changes in the person they think they know. And some people didn't like change. They don't want to let go. Not everybody is easy at, good at letting go. So I do feel like for some of you, maybe not immediately, but if there was somebody that didn't want to let your person go or caused a lot of ruckus or try to wedge themselves in between here, trying to dim your light or put a damper on what that partnership, it's not possible. It's fantasy. It's just lust. It's not divine. It doesn't work like that. Everyone always loses their fizzle. Eventually things will just go vanilla. That's the way relationships work. Eventually it's just going to get boring. You have to choose to accept to be there. Accept that mission. It's like nah, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be amazing forever. You can always choose to keep things interesting. You can choose to keep the mystery alive. You can get through times that are vanilla, but there's always, you know, that possibility of re-engaging something. Especially if you have a divine connection. That's a chemistry thing that probably won't ever go anywhere. So if you have something like that, that love is trickled out there and felt by others. Sometimes envied by others, but I feel like anybody that was envious over something they never had, never experienced, never saw love like it could actually be, because that's just the movies, right? It's just fairy tales, right? Everything should be a telenovela, or everything should be just vanilla, or something that doesn't work out. And if somebody's getting to observe something that's maybe deep, divine, beautiful, then I feel like somebody that, you know, maybe didn't want to see that that was possible is maybe going to come around to loving you too. And if anyone's trying to interfere, last message, anyone's trying to interfere with anything that it's actually meant by God, is actually a soul contract. Somebody might delay it a little bit, but what is meant to be, God's a much bigger energy than any kind of little manipulation somebody might try. So if something is meant to be, it'll be. Also remember, time is but an illusion. So you have to be open to, maybe in some circumstances it is meant to be. You are gifted something and somebody was making conscious choices or unconscious choices that, you know, tapped into free will to go through that experience or learn the lesson or not, and it didn't happen. There's something that's going to be, I know that's not what most of you want to hear, but there's something that maybe in the next life, you know, what was maybe a pretty big gift will be beyond measure next time. So with this, I bid you adieu. I hope this was helpful. It was kind of a big reading, so I love you so much. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you soon.